Hey YouTubers and Critical Blasters, welcome to Void Tyrant, a mobile RPG game, and unlike my last mobile game review, ranting about Toon Blast being a slot machine that's overly painted with pretty cartoons and props, shiny shapes, and loony music, this time I'll be reviewing a mobile game that does things the right way, and uses in-game purchases correctly rather than dipping their greedy little hands into the pockets of the people.
Okay, so what is Void Tyrant and how do I play it and why should I care?
Well, I'm glad that you asked, voice in my head that pretends to be the viewer. Void Tyrant is a combination of different card games and RPG elements. It's like taking Blackjack, Yu-Gi-Oh! And an RPG and fusing them all together into a game based on both luck and skills. Random luck usually bothers me in most games, but Void Tyrant creates a perfect balance that lets you work around random luck with using your RPG skills. The game does have in-game purchases, and unlike most mobile games, this game does it the right way. While most mobile games already have all the content in the game but purposely makes you pay to keep playing their dumb game by limiting you, but Void Tyrant either gives you the choice to make a one-time payment or watch a quick ad for extra lives or added perks. These payments are super cheap, and once you pay for them, you'll never be asked for another payment. You fully unlocked what all the game has to offer, unless it's quests and upgrades, which you can easily purchase by playing a few rounds and use the in-game money rather than your own. As you continue to play, you'll be able to unlock other types of heroes, expand your town, grow stronger, and work your way up to the top and beat your top score and prove who's the king.
Who's the king?
You're the king, boo-boo. So you pick a hero and you have a selection to pick from such as Knight, Priest, Duelist, and Assassin, and you have to head into space. Deep space. So deep. So each round allows you to pick one out of 2 planets, and each planet is covered with its own set of enemies and bosses. Just think of Star Fox and you get the idea. You follow a path which guides you down a road of battles, traps, shrines, treasure chests, back alleyways, space rifts, and traveling merchants. Now let's talk about your deck. No, I said deck.
I can't help but notice that, you keep, censoring whenever I say deck. Oh, I was just adding in little editing gags to make it funny.
Yeah, funny, making it sound like I'm saying a bad word, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got something that's funny for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so, you want the editing job? Yeah, no, the spot was taken, but it just opened back up. Yeah, I know, funny, right? Okay, I'll have a contract and blood oath ready for you on Monday. Sorry about that. Editors. Am I right? So you have 2 card decks to pull from. Your main deck is comprised of number cards ranging from 1 through 6, and you get 2 of each number card within this deck. You see this meter? Yeah, so this meter is super important, and you'll notice that it only goes up to 12. So what you want to do is draw a number card, and you'll fill that meter up to 12, or as close as possible to 12. But be careful, because you don't want to go over 12, as it could cost you greatly. So this is where the blackjack elements come from. Your best bet, like in blackjack, is to play it safe all the way up to 20, but in this case 12. Because you never know what number you're going to draw next, unless you're just really good at counting cards or you're just one of those people who believe in blind luck. Your opponent is also trying to build up to 12, and depending on who gets the highest number will decide on who gets to attack. If you go over 12, then however much you drew will count against you and your opponent will get to attack. The amount of attacks that you do will rely on the difference, so if you beat your opponent with 3 points, then you get to land 3 attacks, and the same for the other side. The best strategy is to play it safe. Only take risk when you really need to. Play a good defense. If you know you can't best your opponent in points, then rely heavily on your second deck to better your odds. So, what's your second deck? Your second deck is where you land extra attacks, deal double the damage, heal yourself, play number cards that will help increase your number gauge to a number that you want, as well as adding traps and effects to your opponents. This is where your Yu-Gi-Oh! Skills are going to come in handy, so you better start believing in the heart of the cards again.
I must have faith in my cards. I have faith in my cards. I have cards.
There are a lot of different types of cards that you can use to help better your odds that you need, to make sure that you have plenty of energy, which is this blue meter right over here. You see it? Some cards cost energy and some are free, but if you ever run out of energy, just know that you can always slowly build it back up within each turn, whether you're playing defense or attacking your opponent. But just know that if you're attacking, then you receive more energy back. It's easy to run out of energy, especially during a boss battle, but just know that it's also very easy to restore just enough energy to turn the table. You can also upgrade your energy as well as your HP, attack, and defense by visiting shrines or winning matches. You will also have the chance to win new cards along the way to help you with your journey, so there's always room for upgrades and growing for a player in each round. Most enemies are pretty easy to manage, but they can be cheap by using certain cards that will restart your counter gauge, or adding buffs. But the biggest pushovers are the bosses. They are very challenging and will give you a run for your money, especially this boss right here. Due to the fact that it has this one move that it uses every round that acts as an instant point counter, so if it lands on 12, then it will leave you sweating bullets. So save up those cards that will add on to your counter, or cards that will make it reset the boss's counter to make it manually draw cards instead of pulling a fast one on you. This game is honestly addicting. I've been playing it now for several years, not only because it's addicting, but because I genuinely have fun and it's a nice little change throughout the day. And what I love is that if the app closes out for whatever reason, the game will automatically load back up to where you last left off. In case the app crashes, which I've never experienced, but you never know, mobile phones these days. I give Void Tyrant a 5 out of 5, not only due to the fact that it's a fun game, but it's also one of the few games that's a perfect example for mobile games. I want to thank the developers of Void Tyrant for not turning this game into a bottom-feeding slot machine. And thank you for all the countless hours of entertainment when needed. Well, my time's up and I've got to buy, trash to take out and bury several states away. I'm Zach and we'll see you next time.